Hey everyone, welcome back to my mini series, My Diet Journey from a Biblical Perspective. And this is the last video on this mini series. And I thank you guys so much for taking the time. And if it's kind of helped you in your own perspective or dialogue, internal dialogue regarding matching or pairing, your vegetarian vegan philosophy to the Bible. I hope that this has helped kind of settle it somehow in your mind on how to merge these two beautifully without turning one into more of a religion, and allowing food to be our tool and not our God. And so one of the things I wanted to address in this part 7 video is basically how changing my diet has helped me and how it's challenged me. It's definitely helped me have a deep appreciation for God's creation, because there's just so much out there, and I love when people cook because in their own cultures and they share it with everyone. I think that's like really neat to see how different ingredients are used, and so it gives me a lot of appreciation, and it's helped me learn new things as well from others. I would say that my diet has also helped me get creative in the kitchen, because sometimes you don't want to be eating the same thing over and over again, because your body actually needs a lot more variant bacterias to help your body function better. I would say it's helped me be less militant and less judgmental towards other people. I used to be that way, where if someone didn't, follow what I thought was the right way of eating, I would almost sense, oh, well, they're not, reading the Bible, or they're not, adhering to the laws really well. And I've just come to that point where it's like, you know what? Everyone has a choice, and it's not my place to enforce my dietary beliefs onto other people. What I can do is teach them if I'm asked, or if or I can counsel them on the best way based on science and based on what we've gleaned from all the amount of information that we now have regarding a plant-based diet. And so that's really been helpful. I would say I'm also a lot more compassionate towards people who can't go plant-based because of the compromises that have already happened in their body, where they don't produce certain proteins, they can't consume any leafy greens, which is like a huge shock to me. As someone who promotes a plant-based diet, that is really disheartening, especially because that's what we usually encourage people to consume more of, because that has a lot of vitamins and minerals in it. There's just so much in leafy greens, and so for someone to not be able to process it and can't even have it at all, it was a deep awakening for me, and recognizing how we eat at a young age does affect how we will eat as we get older. Another way it's helped me is that it's healed some ailments. Actually, when I decided to do the 21-day fast, that's something you guys can check out. There'll be a playlist for that. But that 21-day fast really revolutionized my deep understanding of how food is our medicine, like literally our medicine, because I had no idea what was ailing my feet. And after I did the 21-day fast, whatever was wrong with my foot, it was gone, and it was amazing. And so I'm slowly going back to trying to focus on eating that way, and I would say going on that plant-based dietary lifestyle, I would say it was really constricting, but I think that as you kind of open up a little bit more into eliminating things that you shouldn't, the better your body will heal itself. And the body can, as long as the body isn't overly compromised. And that's the key point. I would say it's challenged me to, like I said, not being judgmental towards other. It's challenged me to be compassionate towards other people, especially people who have offered food that is technically biblically okay, and me reacting with kindness and compassion towards them, because I realized that, hey, if they offered what they have, like, that is their hospitality, and I'm not going to snub my nose at them for being kind and considerate, even if they didn't understand like what my dietary lifestyle is. And I hope that makes sense. So a good example was when I was in Korea, there was somebody who invited us to their house, and we said, oh, we're vegetarians, but there was no word at the time for like vegetarian. The word is, or it's a full sentence, which is, I eat vegetables. So when we told them I eat vegetables, you can imagine they're not going to immediately understand that, oh, that's great, you eat vegetables, because there was no word for vegan at the time. And so when we got to their house, they had cooked fish, and it had fins and scales, and then they also had some egg. And my husband and I looked at each other, because we were like staunch vegan at that time, and he said, well, Pearl, you know what? It's not breaking the Levitical laws, and it's biblical, and so we should eat it out of, them preparing us a meal. And so they had very, very small bowls of vegetables. It wasn't like I could eat just the vegetable. It was not like that big old dish. It was a very small side dish of a vegetable. So, and then they had this, and so we decided to eat it. But then afterwards, we ended up telling our friend what a vegetarian was and how their dietary needs were. And my friend was so receptive to it and was so interested that they were like, oh, I'd never heard of that before. And it allowed for dialogue, and it made me realize that was a much more logical pathway of conversation than for us to stand our ground and be like, not touching what the person made when they worked hard on, preparing it, or if that was all that they could offer, So I had to think about that. It's like, if that's what they could offer, I'm not going to snub my nose at that, as long as it maintained the biblical, standards. And so after thinking about it in that sense, I realized, in my conversations, I'm a lot more compassionate with people who really are unaware, and not making it seem like my diet is the right way. Although I will say that I think the plant-based lifestyle is definitely better, and it does have a lot more benefits, but I won't enforce it on people who have overly compromised, because I don't understand fully how their body may react, and I'm not a doctor, so I don't try to infringe on other people in that way. And so that's been a challenge for me, and especially as a trainer, I think that is one other aspect of my personal journey that I've been a lot more considerate of, because I do tell a lot of my clients to increase their vegetable intake if they can, and increase a lot more of their fruit intake if they can, but I try to explain the much cleaner foods for them, but I definitely don't say you must do this, or I just feel like that's not a way to have a discussion with anybody. So, well, thank you guys again so much for watching, and I hope that just gives you I think some clarity on how maybe other people handle like being a Christian and being a plant-based enthusiast, and being able to merge those two with love. And so with that said, guys, may you live, thrive, and be healthy, and you guys take care. Love you guys. Bye.